What's going on, everybody? This is Super Robot Ed, and today we have in front of you none other than the Transformers Legacy Leader class Blitzwing, which technically he's a Voyager class, but because of the amount of plastic and the weird extra weapons that he has received, this of course makes him a Leader class. And for what it's worth, with the tools, that makes him Leader class. So before we get into a whole lot of things, this is him in jet mode. Now he does come in tank mode. We're going to show him off in jet mode first because this mode is the worst by far for a lot of people, but I will explain why it's not in the review. Now we're going to go over the box. And as you can see here, this is the box. And the box does this, turn it around, and it has this on the back. As you can see here, it is 32 steps to transform. He comes with stupid other weapons that just don't make sense. And for the sake of the video, I'm going to tell you this now. I'm not even going to bother with him because I just like Astro Train and just like Shockwave in this line, I refuse to talk about those extra weapons. They are meaningless to me. Therefore, if you like them, you have to watch somebody else's review. But he's 32 steps to transform. We're just going to talk about it. So this is the instructions. And the instructions are a nice little thick little booklet, but I know some of y'all, we got to see the instructions because all Transformers come with the box of instructions unless it's vintage. Am I right? All right. So let's get it out the way. And let's talk about the accessories. You get these things that turn into, they're not even hands, man. I mean, who has 6 fingers? They're like guns or something. Like just Hasbro, like if y'all could leave stuff like this out of the picture, maybe that'll bring the price point down a little bit. But some of these accessories aren't needed. I just don't like them. I don't like dealing with them, and that's not what he did in the cartoon. It's not the same thing for Astro Train. He had a caboose and 50 1,011 guns, like he was some kind of armory. It just didn't work that way. But either way, and of course, it does come with the sword, which is G1. As you can see there, nice silver sword. Now let's talk about this this is supposed to be a MiG-29 or something like that. I don't know. One of those, but that's really what it's based on. It's not the F-15 or anything like that, or F-14. Now, in the original G1 cartoon and the original G1 toy, he pretty much had like this whole section was just wings. If you hear rumbling, it's thundering outside. It was just wings, but he is solid. Underneath, you can see the tank turret, which was kind of what it was in G1. But the rest of this, for a lot of people, throws people off because of the way that the kibble is shaped. And I think that if this kibble, kind of this side, you see how it is from the back? Like if this was somehow flipped around, let me make sure I got everything correct. Flipped around, I think it would have looked better, but it doesn't. That's why it looks so weird. But I don't know what y'all were expecting with the triple changer when the G1 Blitzwing had 2 sets of wings. And that's my only gripe about transforming this thing, is like, I'm not sure if I got it right. Because the jet mode is kind of weird. Let's just call it for what it is. It's weirdum. It's even weirder than Titan's Return, and we're going to show that off in a minute. But we're going to compare it to some other toys that I have on deck, and I don't have much on deck today, so sorry about that. Just didn't bring a whole lot with me. And let me just point that down. I don't know why this stand is so loose today. Tighten it up a little bit. Now it's just way too loose. But okay, so we're going to compare them to none other than Astro Train, which I've never done a review of. But it's, as you can see, Astro Train, when we talk about it, it's kind of a better figure. I mean, it's just me. I know people are going to get upset by that, but I just think he is. But as you can see, both of them have that heft. I don't have anything to weigh him with, unfortunately, and I wish I did, but I do not, because I don't be paying attention. But let's do some measurements here. So in this weird looking jet, and I actually like the jet. I know some people don't, but I do, okay? he's about 3 inches from the rudders down, or about 3 inches or so. Then in length, he is about, let's say, about close to 7 inches. So about 7-inch figure there. So 7-inch in jet mode. It's just an interesting looking jet. Now I'm comparing to the other triple changers here, and we have the Legends Octane. So this is the Japanese Takara version. It has more of the pretty paint, and again, these are, the Titan's Return and everything, they just feel so light. But I mean, as you can see, we've got the trio, which I never really see him because he's actually friends with Sandstorm, in a way. So he's kind of not part of them, but it's just the idea that, the Decepticons had 3 triple changes. And you can see it right there. So you can kind of see what's going on there. So now I'm going to move these out the way. And you're going to see them again. We're going to do the vehicle modes. And if you can ever find this one, I know he goes for a higher price. He comes with the Ghost Starscream head. I keep mine in the package because it's crystal clear. I don't want to lose him. This is actually a very good one to pick up because he does mimic that particular episode. Kudos to Takara for giving you that. So, what are we going to compare him to now? So we're going to compare him to none other than actually still one of my favorite Blitzwings. And it is the Legends version. Why? So I'm going to give y'all a little heads up because we're going to talk about this. This is actually more or less based on the movie. Transformers 86 movie. This color scheme, this kind of like that's lilac, light kind of purple and this really light beige is the color scheme taken directly from Transformers the movie. This color scheme is G1, as well as in the cartoon he had this dark purple, but in the animation for the movie he had this. Now comparatively, I always thought that the jet mode for this was better. Of course, this is also Megatron. They did a G1 inspired color Megatron, and of course they did the the Megatron Rules, one of them in Takara, which he has a nice paint scheme, but I can only stand this mode, tolerate this mode for so much. But I think the jet mode for him looks a lot better, and that's just because of how everything folds up. But boy, when we get the tank mode, that's when you're gonna be like. So it's kind of like we're gonna move him out the way, and now we're gonna talk about him in his tank mode, and we'll be back in two transformations will be done off the screen for this one. All right, we're back by YouTube magic, and now we have Blitzwing in the tank mode. And I have to admit, I like the tank mode. I know some people don't. I do. Is it animation accurate? Yeah, it's animation accurate. This is the way he looked in G1. And it's actually simple enough to get to it. I'm just not going to do the transformation on screen. So let's go over some details. First things first. Let's get the measurements out of the way. In tank mode, he is about, from the boosters, about a little over 6.5 inches, and he is about 2.5 inches in height. I do like how compact the jet tank mode is. I don't know what tank it is, Abrams. I don't know. You guys figure all that out. I don't really care. But you can store the guns here on the side. You can put the sword here. You can just turn the sword like that, or you can put it on top of here. We're going to take the guns off for a second. We can look at the tank mode, and then we'll do comparisons. Again, I'm not showing off the weird looking hand weapons. So again, if you're upset about that, excuse me, plenty of other reviewers for that. But it's simple. It works. I mean, it looks like a tank. It's got gaps here. Could have been something they could have put there. They didn't. So, oh well, what are we going to do about it, right? Now, this is how he looked on the, especially in the movie. In the cartoon, he always had that, sticking out. And, from the back, he's got the, super tank. From the underside, it's pretty clean. Now, I'm going to talk about these at the end of the video as well. But yeah, the tank mode is pretty sweet. It's probably why he was packaged in tank mode, because it is the shining achievement. The barrel does move up and down. It does rotate 360. And like I said, you could put the guns however you want to put the guns on there. You know, they got these 5mm ports in the guns. He's got 2 guns, which I don't think he did. The original G1 toy did. But he does come with 2 guns. Similarly, he does come with even I believe the Titan's Return only came with the bucket gun and the little sword. And you know, but if you have the Legends version, you actually get Shuffler as an added bonus. And like I say, you just put this on top if you want, and you've got tank mode. And tank mode is pretty sweet. It does roll. You know, it has the fake wheels, but I mean, it looks like a tank more than the jet mode. And that's not going to be the same for the other one, but let's do some comparisons in vehicle modes here. So first thing we're going to bring is the triple changer. Again, Legends Octane, looking very nice and shiny with the actually painted rims and things of that nature. And Astro Train is going to go over here real quick so you can see the two, how they stack up, because he is not a, you know, he's not Legacy. He's not Legends version, which this is where the tank mode on this one is just horrendous. It is horrendous. And you can see it here. It's just, it just doesn't compare. And this never moved up and down. You know, it's very static turret. And also what's odd about this one is that you have these, because this is the back of the jet. And so because they couldn't do the design like this one, he suffers, you know, because these parts kind of get in the way. But this is the way the tank mode should be, where the turret is covering the cockpit in the back. So, you know, and you can see the comparisons here. And I mean, there's the headmaster there. And overall, this tank mode looks superb over the tank mode for him. Color wise, I still like the colors on this, because like I said, this is more movie. This is more television accurate. So I just want to show that off. And I mean, this is how he looks. You know, you want to call this a go right ahead. It is your choice. You can do what you want. I just know it as being the full cockpit, you know, now. So after this, we're going to pause for the cause, do another 2 and 2, and then we're going to go into robot mode and final thoughts. And that's that. So we can wrap this puppy up. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and we have Legacy Blitzwing in his robot mode. So we're going to go over the height, and then after that, we're going to do over the articulation, then we're going to do comparisons and get out of here. All right, so he is approximately 6 inches. Now let's try to see if we can get him without the A stance, get him standing straight up. Yep, still about 6 inches, a little over 6. So he's Voyager size, not a leader size, just the tools. Okay. So articulation goes like this. Leg goes out to here with the knee bend. He has the feet swivel. Leg can only go back but so far. I always feel like it needs to go in because of the back kibble. And the back kibble is a problem with this figure. He does have rotation. Yeah, you kind of do a 360. Which is cool because Titan's Return and Legends version did not have that. The feet are odd because they're the boosters and they're split apart. That's okay. The arms. So this is where I have the problem. There is no other shoulder rotation. It does not rotate here. So your rotation is here. It's kind of similar to the Legacy G2 Optimus Prime. And I don't really feel great about that figure. I still don't feel like they could have added more articulation, even though I know all this back kibble was there. But it would have been nice just to have it so you can get a little bit more range. Let's take a look at that head sculpt. He does kind of remind me of Kumo D. Every time I look at his face, I just want to go, how you like me now? First things first, before we bring out, you know, everybody together, gonna bring out Legends Octane. And again, this is the Japanese version. He does have the head to turn into the Ghost Star screen, but like I said, I don't want to lose that, so I keep it in the box. So we're going to just put him there. Like I said, he's taller because the Titan's Return figures were taller, but he's more dense. Put him inside, and then we're going to bring out Astro Train, which has been slightly cleaned up with all the dirt and grime, so he doesn't look like he came out of a dirt bag. And as you can see, you know, they look good again. I'm going to move him out the way because I just wanted to show off the triple changes. But, these are the two main guys until season 3. So let's get his feet set up. And I mean, they look good together. They're the same height. And we had to do a quick edit. So we brought in Legends Blitzwing. And like I said, he is a lot shorter than he is. I'm going to back up just a little bit so you kind of get an understanding of what we're facing here. This, like I said, is more of movie. This is movie. This is G1 cartoon. And, I'm going to be honest with you. I like both of them for different reasons. This is very tough because the coloration I love on him versus him, which is more the darker colors. But I gotta admit, this just looks like that blocky. It just looks like Blitzwing. It does. I knew this one did, but this one carries it a little better. I wish they would do something with giving him like these colors or something. Like, I wish, man, like Takara just gave this figure these colors. This would make him pop more. The darker purple is so, I don't know. It's just GG1, very toy accurate. So, let's go and let's finish this up. So we're taking him out the way. And yeah, overall, I do like this figure. I do like the way it looks because in a way it does match. The problem is it needed more time to cook. This figure suffers from weird cut drawbacks. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like the shoulders not being able to move any further despite this being here. The kibble kind of being just, they give him the appearance of having the wings when he doesn't have the wings, and most of the wings are in here. Somewhere in here would have been nice if these wings rotated. So that way when you're in jet mode, these wings would stick out and it didn't look so crazy. That's another thing. I do like, everything else. I mean, he does, like I said, he has a very cool demeanor, look. I'm absolutely happy to have him. But compared to Astro Train, and I know people are going to say, well, Astro Train. No, Astro Train is actually, in my opinion, perfect. Yes, a vehicle mode is going to suffer. It's a triple changer. How in the world do you expect for this to actually be cohesive? And there's going to be a third party, but that's third party. We're talking about Hasbro. They are the ones that made these figures. I know third party is great and everybody loves third party. Everybody swears by third party, but the problem is they're not the originators. Hasbro is. Takara is. So I don't care about your third party. Now, when I say that, I don't say that like I don't like third party. I'm saying like I'm not going to compare this to any of the third party because most of the third party is masterpiece size. Could it have been better? Yes, this figure could have been way better. And I say that only because for a modern figure not to have any type of shoulder articulation at all is abysmal. Like this toy is limited. It's not, and I don't like that. I mean, I get it. We wouldn't be able to rotate around so we can do what we want, but I feel like some of the engineering is just unnecessary. And I think when you play with this, you'll understand why I say that. Especially with the legs, you do a lot because their wings and everything are comprised in which Blitzwing never had his wings there. Even Titans Return Legends, the wings are where they should be, not this giant backpack. And it detracts. I mean, because there's not much you can do to collapse it. It's just a big backpack. And it's, like Astro Train, everything kind of fits in line. But with him, it's kind of like, and I know a lot of reviewers have given this figure like praise, but I'm like, are you really taking the time to really analyze this figure? Yes. And I forgot to point that out. But I just want y'all to see that Legends Blitzwing, his arms rotate, but they stop. And see, they have a stop point right there. And that's the same thing with him. They have like that weird stop point, and it's due to the divot right there. but you still had, more range, even though the arms didn't look great, you still had more range and motion and everything like that. So that's the only thing. But overall, the figure is nice. It has a nice density to it. I don't care for these things. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't care for these. I don't feel like incorporating it into something that never should have been incorporated in the first place. This could have been taken away and just given us a little bit more engineering, or maybe just taken away and taking the price down. All right, that's it. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Pick him up. Pick him up. Pick him up. Oh yeah, I forgot. Hurricane Van Dam. But yeah, pick him up. Just pick him up, because at the end of the day, he's gonna match the aesthetics. All right. So that's my review of Legacy Astro Train. Again, my name is Super Robot Ed. Bringing back more news and reviews as I can. Motor Master is on the way. Target just took me out of back order, saying my order is estimated to be shipped. Hopefully it'll be here by this Friday. I can probably have the review out over the weekend. Got to deal with some stuff. As just some of y'all know, I've taken a back seat from that as far as just, getting calm, getting back to being an adult and not getting, petty. And so for y'all that, were on my Facebook page, right now it's deactivated, and it's going to stay that way for quite some time. I probably may not come back for a while. So other than that, if you need to contact me, please use my Instagram, and that's Super Robot Ed. At Instagram, you got to send any messages. Other than that, everything's cool. I get back to normal, try to get life on, and try to get these toy reviews in. So again, I want to thank everybody for stopping by the channel. I'll see you soon with more news and reviews. Until then, bye-bye.